and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
to AI to do the good, and that's what the good knows. And it didn't let them say that. It didn't. But this is all fair with love. It's all fair with love. Let me say this, that I think, honestly, that if Senate comes and dies with Luther, that this news has better than because one thing Luther is evidently expected that he's not considered understood by the evidence, not the things. Not the things. I get that. You know, that, I mean, it doesn't know. It doesn't know. There was no way that it would have that. So I'm sure. But that's the other side of the other side, and the other side that it's going to be a little bit of a situation. They're going to try to do the best we can to make sure that everybody can put together as best as possible. Yeah, but if we can try to see what it's doing, that would be pretty good. So, because we don't know, we don't do it, you know. So, I will say this too, that 1.8% chance that that's every second tenant. Usually there's not a true school effect. Realistically, some try to have an actually telling the middle of family members. So wouldn't that be better? Because when you take short-term risks, if they're like a long-term benefit of this, I would be really look at the terms and say, oh look, how do you have to do that? What can you do to say that no one's do that? When you have a teacher and put the thing that there's no option. I mean, you know, please don't have, I'm used to it for you. Please don't get the food, but I'm just not another thing. Yeah. There's a lot of rumors that can do this. No. So, again, give us our labor. That's an injury. Now you got to buy people side. Yeah, I think the change that we see that happen, you might be able to answer that for that one, because I think we have a reason between and we can have exercise and play this stuff. So I do know, it could be the that's a thousand and blue. That was that's an other thing in the country. And that's it. And then we can box. We can box. So we know it's going to do. Well, if we're talking about the background, and the boxes and the island, as well as the location, so there was music that I think that I see somebody that maybe the cat. Let me do the thing like that. You don't have to make it. So what about happening? So let's see if this can do. This is the says, to me, that makes more sense. But again, you've been honest that you seem to be a fan favorite and connection with, when the teams have shot getting back, this has been, that's good. You know what? It doesn't hurt what they're choosing. But you're moving a power that that's flagged in that much abuse mostly. Yeah. But you can't, you have to get more than what you got. So, and all the evolution says from, you know, the Lakers only guy, but he went to them, yeah. Lakers have so much money, that didn't matter. So let's say this for a certain combination that it's pretty much they can take to the top. Same Miller, same skill set, and Tatum's not invest into it. 2 finals, 1 finals. Again, also fair at that could potentially be a begging block for the next 10 years. But anyway, you've got to understand that. You know, just saying it's in the same area that's the person for him, it doesn't mean that we've got to have the same event. Yeah, I'm not a comparison of even people do that. But if we want to take a comparison of it, definitely that's the best that the person could get. If you can step from the other two, there's nothing in the two steps. Let's not make them more busy than what I have. I see that. So then, probably, let's just go on here to Connecticut and Emerson Park. So, the third in the you've got to talk about the status at the Dallas Mountains. They're the stations in there. They keep the picture of everything. Then, that's what then Dallas is always special personality in the world. Yeah, taking off there's a person from the third example of that. That's John said that the representative and we're not going to have that as there. Listen, I think it's better now, I think that I don't know if you can make the team and listen, obviously, think about that team in the West, which is a small market team in the United States, and right? The first that having this in school is always. That's good. Because you can do it.
Let's see if that helps a little bit. So again, we are live. We are at K&M All-Star Sports in Foxwood Casino, Ledyard, Connecticut. So hopefully we can get these audio things fixed a little bit. But again, apologize, bear with us. See if you can at least try to make out what we're trying to say. Hopefully we've gotten a little better here with the audio. All right, they can hear me now, but they can't hear you.
They can't hear me. I haven't said anything. I've been quiet the whole show.
I don't know about that, but listen, at the end of the day, we're excited to be here. Hopefully we can get some of these audio things figured out sooner than later. But again, thank you for joining live, and Danny. We appreciate the support. Ron,
it makes me feel like I'm whispering.
Yeah, I wouldn't whisper. Maybe that's the problem. There is no
screen.
microphone, guys. I don't know about that. I'm sure.
No microphone.
I don't know. We're going to keep going.
Yep.
We're going to keep going. We're going to talk some NFL, Ron, and we're going to talk about the NFL schedule release. Just came out this Wednesday. Are there some matchups that you're looking at that you're really excited for?
Yeah, that's pretty much the one most weeks that I'm looking forward to. There's a couple of weeks that no, but I like how they're going to start. Ravens and Bills.
Right, what a matchup already. One of these teams is going to go into this season with a
Ravens
loss.
have a tough start.
Oh man, 3 out of the first games, I'm like Ravens.
They could be 1-3
Yeah,
after 4 years.
they could, without a doubt. Yeah, I have Ravens at Bills. Week 2, Super Bowl rematch, Eagles at Chiefs. A little bit of a revenge factor here, so there's a possibility of that, going a different way. Let's see where they're at.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting because we're going to see if the Chiefs did enough to maybe change direction on the fly.
Especially that offensive line. We saw the issues in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Philadelphia, right now is the chance, so we can see how that works out.
Yeah, and in week 3, back to the Ravens again. They get the Lions at home.
Yes.
So Detroit goes into Baltimore, and I mean, you got a hungry team that had a complete fall off at the end of the season,
Yeah.
right? So now everybody's starting to question Detroit, and then they got to go rolling into Baltimore.
Yeah, and a lot of
try to
change,
get that.
right? And a lot of change with Detroit coaching staff. So we'll have to see, again, new offense coordinator, new defense coordinator.
Yeah, that's a big hit. That's going to be tough to recover from, I think.
And that window you think about for the Baltimore Ravens, to me, is shrinking.
Oh, it is.
So if you're asking me, I'm realistically looking at this as they've got probably a handful of years left with Lamar Jackson being Lamar Jackson. So this season doesn't help them when it begins. Because then, again, Bill, thanks for joining. Go Broncos. All right. Hey, we got a Broncos fan out there. Not many. There's some. But week 4, too, the Ravens at Chiefs, Ron. You're talking about another matchup for these both, like back-to-back matchups where these Ravens, I don't even know what the NFL schedule makers were thinking, but the Baltimore Ravens clearly pissed somebody off in the NFL office.
I mean, when you think about their schedule, they could be in big trouble early in the season. They're not going to be able to go unscathed. If they start off and they beat those 3 teams,
that goes a long way.
It goes a long way.
To your point, if they split, that'd probably be the best. 2-2 for the Baltimore Ravens to begin the season would probably be realistic.
Yeah.
I have week 6, Ron. Lions at Chiefs. Lions, again, we'll see what they are, but if they're going to be a Super Bowl contender, that's going to be a matchup that people are going to look at.
Yeah, this is going to be the week that separates the direction of both these teams, I think. Because that is, week 6, you are what you are at this point. So,
Bill, very true. Ravens at Steelers, always a bloodbath. You're talking one of the hardest hitting games, always, every year. I'm sure people, but again, what are the Steelers going to be? That's another interesting team that we just don't know what the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be, what their quarterback situation is going to be. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Is that matchup going to be interesting if Mason Rudolph's your starting quarterback during that game?
Yeah, that's a tough one because, Baltimore, we know what they are. Buffalo, we know what they are. And then you throw in the fact that the Chiefs have a lot of turnover in this coming season, and as well as Pittsburgh, we don't even know if they're going to be contenders.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, again, very tough division every year, but they are great matchups. Those Ravens Steelers matchups, regardless of both teams, they always those are
final game of the season.
Those are always fun games. Week 9, I got the Chiefs at the Bills, Ron.
Chiefs at Bills.
I mean, is this the year for the Buffalo Bills? Like,
it needs to be.
Like, they're getting to a point there, too.
If it's the same old, I think you could start seeing some disbanding.
Right? We talked about that Ravens window. Josh Allen, you're starting to become that same thing. You can get there, but can you win it all?
Well, you can't get there.
Yeah, exactly. Losing the postseason every year.
That's the problem. I mean, you don't give up on Josh Allen because he's a super talent. But at some point, you have to start looking at who's to blame. I mean, at some point.
I would say Doug McDermott as the head coach, his job's on the line if they can't get past himself.
I think so.
And again, listen, there's a lot going on in North Carolina right now where I think there may be a head coach available again. And I know we went down that road last year, but I could see that happening again next year if that continues.
I would sort of want to see
Bill with Bills.
Bill with the Bills. The
Bills. What about Week 11, Lions at Eagles? Who's going to be the NFC representative? This could be very well a game that decides that. And I know it's early, but usually you start to talk about getting those legs up in the matchups to try to make sure that you win those games when it comes to tiebreakers. This could be one of those games.
Yeah. Most of the teams in the NFC are the same as they were last year. Most of them. You know, the odd team like, say, San Francisco, are they going to be a contender? But the Lions, I think they're going to be in the thick of things because, you know, they have the same talent.
They do. They do.
Just don't have the same coaching staff.
Absolutely. Got a little bit of fans out there, Ron. Maybe we want to show the fans out there watching Sports Unfolded. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Any other games before I get into the Thanksgiving Christmas games?
Oh my God, Thanksgiving Christmas games.
But here you talk about the NBA and the fix, right? They're doing the same thing again with the Chiefs. We get stuck Thanksgiving and Christmas watching the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I do like the games.
How the Lions going to be on defense? What's their running game going to look like?
Green Bay at this point, what is that, week 13? We're talking about Thanksgiving. I still think they're going to be in there, in the thick of things. You got to love Love.
Gotta love Love. I got you. Gotta love Love. Packers at Lions. Right? Lions host every year. Chiefs at Cowboys. I think what the NFL tried to do here is they're going to shove the Cowboys down on throats as much as possible because I don't think they're going to be very good. But again, people are going to want to watch the Chiefs. People are going to want to watch the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You just root for who you want to lose more.
Yeah. I like that other game.
Bengals at Ravens?
Bengals at Ravens. Don't count out Cincinnati. If they can get their heads out of their butts at the beginning of the season,
which they never seem to do.
They never seem to do it. And that is the reason why they missed the playoffs last year, because they lost to New England.
Right, 9-8. 9-8. If they won that game, they were in. So
they have to start out better. They have to come out like they played the end of the year.
Broncos versus Chiefs on Christmas Day. That may be a meaningless game. Listen, don't doubt the Broncos. I was impressed with what they did last season. You clearly saw that they've taken the steps. Sean Payton is a very good coach, and he proved that with what he was able to do with that Denver Broncos team.
Yeah.
We did not feel like they were going to be as good as they were last season. Obviously, it's not going to be as easy from a scheduling standpoint.
Whether he should have went with Bo Nix.
And Bo Nix, right? You saw something out of him.
He stepped up.
So I don't know if that Broncos Chiefs. Listen, they played the Chiefs very well last season.
They did.
And Patrick Mahomes doesn't like pressure. No great quarterback does. So don't Bill shy away from that and think that that's a meaningless game. Broncos could be in contention in that game at Christmas time. Also at Christmas time, here we go again. Cowboys at Commanders. So we're going to have to see the Cowboys again. But you talk about the Commanders. Do they continue the same trajectory that they had last season, or do we start to see
They had a lot of additions. They made their team pretty damn good on paper. Now, it's whether they can take what they did last year and build on that. I don't see why they wouldn't.
It'll seem that the Broncos killed it in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, they did what they had to do. It wasn't flashy. You know,
I like the Broncos. I mean, I think again one of those teams you could root for. But we were talking about the Commanders, Ron, and you're so right. Jaden Daniels, what the additions they've added, Deebo Samuel, they've added on defense. They're going for it, and they've got a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. They can add this talent.
they can.
They contend with Philadelphia in the NFC East.
Look, and you just made yourself dynamic on that offense because of Deebo. Deebo changes a lot of things because now when you go into those packages that you can run or you can pass, you have so many options with Deebo Samuel that it's going to change their offensive just trying to move, right? I mean, it's going to be explosive with Deebo Samuel.
We are not Giants fans. We have, if you can't tell by the hat, we are Patriot fans from New England. But listen, Giants. Listen, strength of schedule, Ron. Before we move on, the biggest strength of schedule. So basically, they take the winning percentage of all the teams who play. New York Giants, 57% winning percentage, have the toughest schedule next season. When you talk about bad luck and what they were trying to do in New York, I don't think they contended all this season.
They're in a division that three teams are doing well, and they can't get out of their own way. It's their own fault. I don't feel bad about it. You have a tough schedule because six games are against good teams.
Yeah. Strength of set, the Bears. So we think the Bears are going to be in contention, but the Bears have the second hardest schedule in the NFL, 57% winning percentage. So that won't be an easy one either.
It's skewed a little because Minnesota,
Right, 14. It's very good.
I don't think they're going to do that.
You also look at the Eagles, third when it comes to strength of schedule, 56%. So it's going to be tough. On the other end, though, easiest schedule based on what they're saying, 49ers, 41%. Could see a quick turnaround for the 49ers, get back. Still got to figure out that Brock Purdy situation at quarterback. They didn't sign a contract yet. How much are they going to pay him? What's that going to look like? That's going to be.
Because you know what? They have messed up because of this quarterback problem. You know, they have a treaty quarterback well. They also haven't exactly lit the world on fire, you know, finding quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, you get lucky with the Mr. Irrelevant becoming, a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But again, you had a ton of talent around them. Saints, second easiest schedule. Here's a team, too, a lot of transition. So I don't know how well they're going to do. Third easiest schedule, Ron, your New England Patriots. Here's a good chance to bounce back. I really feel the Patriots are an 8 to 9 win team.
Yeah, and that's going to be that's tricky because we don't know what we have. And that is, I mean, suppose he does this year, now that he has some tools, why not try to make the playoffs with this team, right? I mean,
Listen,
if you get 8 wins, you're only 2 wins away from it. So can you scrap enough together to, beat some good teams?
I will say the biggest piece you got to look at, Drake May taking the second year lead.
Yeah.
If he can do that, again, you add Steph Diggs, week 5, hopefully he's back. It's going to be interesting to see if that team did enough spent the most money in free agency, so you got to look at that as a positive. I think they did okay in the draft.
You look at some of those first picks.
Coaching matters.
You got a better coach. You got better offensive weapons. Complete. An offensive lineman. If you have one lineman, that's more than what you had last year. And that to me goes a long way, and that's why everybody's hyped up saying, "Oh, they're going to win 10, 11 games."
Yeah, I don't know if we go that far.
I don't know if they can do that, but
And to your point, everything's got to come together.
it has. Yeah, if it comes together, they have talent. That defense.
A ton of weapons, Drake May in
better with
fantasy.
somebody that knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Bill's excited because he's got Drake May, or he had Drake May in his fantasy. You may get him again. I wouldn't. I think he'll be available early. I don't think most people are looking at Drake May as going to be a superstar in the NFL today. So you got a good opportunity.
I think it might be right. From the flashes I saw of what he can do last year with the worst offensive line I think I've ever seen in New England for 40 years.
Pretty close.
I mean, for what he did, I think it was enough for me to say that he's going to be definitely in the top half. I think he's going to be
There's
top
some
half.
buzzing coming from Ron as he speaks. So ZWE 4815, thank you for jumping on. So Ron, great NFL talk. But we're gonna transition a little bit. We're gonna move on to our starting five. All right, our starting five tonight. Connecticut-born athletes. So all these athletes came from Connecticut. We've got a lot of great athletes that came out of Connecticut. This was a tough one.
And you see what all yours are born?
I don't know. Yes, because I put all the towns they're from, which are all in Connecticut.
Yeah, but
They're from Connecticut.
yeah, a lot of them have moved to Connecticut.
Well, you know what then?
So I'm going to probably debunk your whole list.
All right, so I am first this week. I will start off with my honorable mentions. Ryan Leach,
Texas.
Bill Romanowski.
Yes, he is.
Bill Romanowski and Willie Peck.
Yes, he is.
So Willie Peck from Hartford, Connecticut.
That's startling. Eric, that you only have him as an
Honorable mention. Well, then again, maybe if some of my people moved, then I didn't get him.
Oh, yeah, that's
so that's
gotta
what
be
put
it.
him. So honorable mentions for you, Ron.
Of course, I only have 5.
I can't. Every week.
I have Bill Rogers. You know who Bill Rogers is?
Yes.
He has won 4 Boston marathons and 3 New York marathons.
Yes, I saw that. And then, like, within a 6-month span.
Yeah, in a 6-month span, he won 3 marathons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's insane.
It is
Crazy to think about.
I also have Bill Romanowski.
Bill Romanowski.
I have Rebecca Lobo
Ooh, that's a good one.
on my honorable mention.
All right.
I also have Joey Logano
Joey Logano. Okay.
from Connecticut.
Really?
Born in Connecticut.
Okay.
Joey Logano.
Wow.
Next guy.
All right. We've picked him a few times.
Yes, we have. And I also have Mo Vaughn.
I thought about Mo Vaughn, but it was a good career. I don't know about
You
starting
know, 320 runs,
Yeah.
293 batting average, something like that.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's get into our starting five, Ron. At number 5 for me, Dorothy Hamill, 1976 gold medal winner in the Olympics. She's from Greenwich.
Shameful that
Greenwich,
that low.
Greenwich, Connecticut.
Shameful
Dorothy
that
Hamill.
low.
That's who I went with. What do you have at number 5?
I have Bruce / Kingston.
Okay. I see what you did there.
Yes, I look. I mean, it's Catholic. I mean, that's the ultimate athlete, right? Certainly has changed over the years, but it doesn't take away from winning the Catholic in the Olympics. And also, won the previous year in the Pan American Games. So 1976
Yep.
Olympics, 1975 Pan American Games.
Okay. All right. All right. At number 4 for me, Christine Lilly, 1999 U.S. World Cup, 191 international goals, most in women's soccer. from Wilton, Connecticut. Wilton, Connecticut.
Yeah, I think she just lives there.
Well, she's from Connecticut. I'm going with it.
She's not from Connecticut.
All right.
As I look at her, she's not. You got to look carefully.
Bill, thanks for joining. We appreciate it. Follow the show. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my number 4, Jonathan Quick. Jonathan Quick, look. As a goaltender, 2 Stanley Cups. I'll take that.
404 career wins, 288 ties or overtime rounds.
63 shutouts. A 9-11
Save percentage for his career. 2.49 goals average.
Okay. All right.
First Smoke Award, one All-Star, 2 betting for the best. It's sad that he only had 1 All-Star game, but he's won 2 Edge trophies of the best goaltender.
I don't know. You know how All-Star voting goes. All right. At number 3 for me, I had Calvin Murphy, 4th highest scoring average in NCAA history, 33.1. NBA season free throw record at 95.8, and he's in the NBA Hall of Fame from Norway. I'll walk Connecticut. Or he moved. He's there. He was in Connecticut. At some point, he resided in Connecticut. Go ahead. Number 3, who do you have?
Number 3, I have White Free. White Free, Hall of Famer, 7 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pro, 1 Super Bowl, 125 career sacks, 47 forced fumbles, and a lot of headaches from Ron watching him against the Patriots.
Yes, without a doubt, White Free. So I'm probably sure my number 2 wasn't born in Connecticut either then. Steve Young, Super Bowl MVP, 1995.
Utah.
Lives in Greenwich.
He's all in Utah.
I'm going with a check on that one. I'm going with a check.
No.
What do you got? What do you got at number 2?
Number 2, I have Dorothy Hamill.
Okay.
Gotta go with the 1976 Olympic champion.
She's also silver in 1975 and 1974 the world champions. But in 1976, she put it all together and won the gold in the world championships as well.
Okay. All right. At number 1 for me, Bruce / Caitlyn Jenner, world record holder in 1975, wins the gold in 1976, breaks her own record. From Newington, Connecticut. Bruce.
You can accept that. But I think you really missed the boat on that.
Who's number 1?
Is number 1.
Really Pepper. Great.
Look, you look at those numbers. I mean, just the sheer massive amounts of wins, which you cannot seem to find where there it is.
Featherweight champion from 1942 to 1948. 6 years
as featherweight champion.
After he lost it, he regained it in 1949. He's also had an astounding 229 wins.
Yeah, when I saw it, 229 wins is ridiculous. You think about today's boxers, they fight once a year.
One draw, 65 knockouts. He's got 65 knockouts. Most boxers don't even fight 60 fights.
No, definitely. Agreed.
Willie
Pep, number 1 for you. No, I agree. I could probably see that. Again, some of these guys, I don't know. I didn't look at born in, I just looked from Connecticut, but you could be right.
I mean, there was a
lot.
Canby.
Yeah, Canby, I saw. There was definitely a couple of players that I was like, wow, I didn't even. Yeah, from UConn. But she didn't have a great pro career.
No.
She didn't have a great career, but
yeah, no, definitely some.
Yeah.
So before we move on, Ron, let's once again thank K&M All-Star Sports here in Foxwoods Casino, the Tanger Outlets in Ledger, Connecticut, for letting us host a Sports Unfolded live show. We appreciate them taking care of it. How are you folks today? Just wanted to say thank you for the support. A great store, man. Check out all of the great merchandise that they have in there. Again, K&M Sports at Foxwoods Casino in the Tanger Outlets. Well recommended. When I'm at home, you'll see that Ty Law picture in the back of me.
Yeah,
It's from here.
Eric, they even have, in case you need it, they even have eyelashes in a vending machine.
We thought about it, but we're not going to go that route right now. We're not going to. All right, Ron, let's talk some NBA.
Sure.
Jason Tatum. Torn Achilles.
I told you.
He's going to be out. Obviously, probably most of next season, if not. Not much. Yeah. What do you think the Boston Celtics will look like once Jason Tatum comes back?
You might not recognize the team.
I think it's going to be
back.
pretty different, and I think you're going to start to see changes next season. Obviously, there's a game tonight. Playing in New York, season isn't over, but there's a good possibility that could be. So, what are we looking for from the Boston Celtics next season without Jason Tatum?
Well, to be honest, I think they're going to be without Porzingis and without Drew Holiday.
I clearly think Porzingis needs to go. I think you're right there.
And Cornette Slay, I think, made that decision for them, even though he is clearly not a replacement for Porzingis. But it'll stop the bleeding so much.
Yeah, you're gonna lose Porzingis. Drew Holiday, I think, will be gone there, but there'll be teams that will want Drew Holiday.
Right.
Al Horford probably going to retire.
No, I was thinking that too, but I think the injury for Tatum, I think, might keep him there for at least 1 year.
But then when Jason Tatum gets back, no Al Horford, 40 years old, probably not going to be playing for the Boston.
Well, like I said, I think that they keep him because of that leadership, and they're going to need to lean on him, not for the playing time, but for his leadership. And I can see the Celtics making him a player coach.
Yeah, he could go to the bench.
I really, truly believe that's their plan for him.
I could see that. Also, Sam Hauser. Sam Hauser with $10 million a year. They signed that contract. I could see them getting rid of him. So, Hazel, thanks for joining. I will say this, Ron. They are about $250 million in fines to keep the team together now. When you look at a team without a Jason Tatum, the odds are that they're going to want to move on from a lot of these guys and get back under that tier in penalties so that they don't lose draft picks.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, I think they keep Derek White, and they keep, of course, Double D.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard.
They keep Brown and Tatum, of course. Tatum will be out. And I think they keep Horford and Cornette. But a lot of the other players probably going to be gone.
Yeah.
So basically, I think,
it's going to be drastically different.
Yeah.
We talked about windows. We talked about it with the Ravens. We've talked about it now with the Bills, Buffalo Bills. Boston had that window, and realistically, they got to two finals with this team. It's going to be drastically different going forward. And again, you see this run in more. And what is Jason Tatum come back as? We saw Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, both suffered this injury, and it took them almost 2 years to be decent.
Yeah, when he comes back, he's not going to have that jump. He's going to play very tentative. He's not going to be the aggressive Jason Tatum that we know. And that's going to come with time. So they're
not
not.
expecting to be a contender next year because of this.
And
And I think
if
if it comes back before the end of the season, probably I'd say
maybe at best
the final month of the season.
It doesn't matter where their record is, right? So does Jason Tatum come back if they're in contention or in the postseason?
If they're there, then he may come back and play. But if they're in last place or something like that, which I would not expect with Brown, White, still on the team. I don't think they'd be sink that low. But if they're not in any contention whatsoever, I don't think it wins.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I wouldn't rush him back at this point. But good luck, Jason Tatum. We wish you well on your injury and speedy recovery. So I think he met the team today in New York just to let them know that he was okay.
If he's there, then
I don't think he'll be at the game, but he definitely met the team when they arrived. So we'll have to see. But Ron, this probably could have been our leadoff story. I'm excited to talk about this. I know you're excited to talk about this. Let's talk some Major League Baseball. Pete Rose has been reinstated by Major League Baseball. Do you agree with the decision?
We talked about Pete Rose with the Hall of Fame, and I was never for it, right? And then thinking about it, I was like, oh, maybe it's okay. And then I did a lot of digging. Lots of bets on his own game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to me, absolutely not.
But not when he was playing as a manager.
Well, there's a question of whether he did it in games when he played as well. Look, he bet on his games. Whether he did it or not, that's a no-no. If you do it in every game, that's one thing. But if you bet on your own game, that's wrong because it's like inside.
But I think he bet for them to win. I mean, so realistically,
doesn't matter.
Maybe that shows confidence.
Yeah, still, he even admitted
that he would take a bet.
Listen,
if it was worth it.
I don't understand the Major League Baseball criteria that, first off, you got to agree that they have to be dead. Once they die, they're eligible. Like, how does that make any sense at all? Then don't put them back in. I don't even reinstate them.
When unnoticed is that they also reinstated
Joe, who clearly threw a game.
But he's dead. So now he's eligible again.
He should be eligible. It's just not right.
Right. Purists vote in the Hall of Fame. They have not voted in Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, all those guys. They're not voting these guys in. Because reinstating them is pointless too. But why even do this or say this if you know realistically that those people that vote are not going to put them in?
Maybe the Phillies are trying to organize a thing where they feel his cats get onto the field
to give him his goodbye.
If you're banned for your actions. Keep them banned. I don't understand it. Just because you got died didn't change that your team.
I'm saying he shouldn't be reinstated. Shouldn't be. Sorry. It's tough.
It blows my mind. How you doing? Pickles. I thought that was a Celtics hat. I was getting all excited. I was like, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. So, and realistically, you start to look at it, though. What changes when they die? Did he still bet on baseball? Yes. Barry Bonds is going to pass away at some point. Did he do steroids? We don't know. He never got technically. But so then, I mean, he's eligible then, but he still did it. Like, it makes no sense why Major League Baseball made this decision.
Baseball never gets anything right. They never get anything right. So it just, and you know what?
Still
They'll never get anything right either.
Yeah, but they're so big, it don't matter when they
Yeah.
make mistakes.
That's the difference, right? But when you see what's going on with Major League Baseball.
Now they're trying to get people to say, oh, yeah, people should be in there, you know, so we're gonna. It's just a publicity stunt to get them talking about Major League Baseball.
It's working.
It is.
We're talking about it. We're talking about Pete Rose.
And that's why they're doing it.
It has nothing
Because they know they're getting slaughtered by the NFL.
But why now? Like, why now? That's the part of it that baffles me. Why now? Like, what did they wait? Like, they literally waited till Pete Rose died to say, you know what, we're going to reinstate it.
Maybe there's money involved in this.
Do you think Pete Rose bet on himself that when he died, he'd get reinstated for Major League Baseball? This was all a ploy by Pete Rose. His last bet he made in life, Ron, was that he'd be reinstated in Major League Baseball. Pete Rose won. Pete Rose won. Pete Rose won it. He did it again.
These organizations, they do things for one reason, and that is money.
There is something that's going to be involved, and mark my words, it's going to come out next year or late.
The Reds just actually had a Pete Rose day. Like, they just had a Pete Rose day. So once I think it was a day after he got reinstated. Like,
There's nothing we can do.
That was
It is
convenient.
what it is.
That was convenient. But that a Pete Rose day, the day that he got reinstated. I don't know. A lot of it sounds fishy.
That's going to make them money, and it's going to be Pete Rose. You watch, mark my words.
It's going to be celebrated in the playoffs.
You got Pete Rose stuff in here? See, Pete Rose. We're going to buy some Pete Rose stuff just to prove a point. Pete Rose, the man.
Didn't I make this comment before? Think about it, brother.
Pete Rose bet on himself to get into the Hall of Fame or reinstate himself. And there you go. Pete Rose did it again.
I almost brought a Pete Rose card to give away.
How insane is that to think about? You're going to reinstate him after he dies. Major League Baseball, another gaffe, as usual. I can't believe it. I don't know why they did it.
Why do you not believe it?
Because I don't even see what they get out of it.
They're going to get something out of it. You know they will. I don't know what to tell you, Danny.
Turn it up, Danny. I don't know what to tell you. Look at that, Pete. Oh, and that's autograph.
Oh, wait, let me change this.
Huh? That is smart. That's a Pete Rose jersey with the autograph on it. K&M All-Star Sports here in Fontainebleau Casino, Tango Out. Check that out. If you're a Pete Rose fan and you're excited, you got reinstated into the Baseball Hall of, well, not reinstated to be eligible for the Baseball Hall of Fame. Come down here, check that out. Buy that Pete Rose autograph jersey. How cool is that? How cool is that? All right, Ron.
I don't know what just happened.
We are going to go and move on to our split decision.
Oh, this is going to be good. If I can find it.
All right. Split decision, basically, we give you to each other more likely questions, and we have to make a decision. We got to live with it, Ron. I am first this week, so I will start us off with our split decisions. Ron, which team that is in the NBA Conference Finals is more likely to get to the finals? The Indiana Pacers or the Minnesota Timberwolves? Who's more likely to get to the NBA Finals? Those two teams are already in.
I'm going to say the Indiana Pacers.
Because you're thinking the Knicks, Pacers?
Either the Celtics, too, because without Jason Tatum, I don't think they can beat Indiana.
Oh, got something right there. 33 in the house. All right. I think Minnesota.
I think we need to get Lillard to play
Think
this
about this
game.
too. Denver and OKC beat each other up. Minnesota Western right now. Great. How you doing? Great opportunity. That Minnesota.
I don't think Minnesota beats either of those.
All right. We'll see. Okay, you're going Indiana.
I'm going Indiana.
Your first split decision, Ron.
All right, split decision. I might as well do the one that's on there right now. What team is the biggest surprise of this year's MLB season so far? Chicago Cubs,
Seattle Mariners,
or the Detroit Tigers?
I would say the Tigers, because I don't think anybody expected the Tigers to be where they are.
See, that's a
Seattle,
trick question.
okay.
Because I think the Tigers were going to get a trick.
I'm not saying they got Scooble, a very good pitcher, right? Cy Young winner. But I don't think people expect them to be in contention. You think they'd be good. Cubs, Mariners, again, they've been around. I don't know. I would have went Detroit.
Yeah, I would have went Cubs on
Yeah,
that
I
one.
would have went Detroit. But no, good question. Good question. All right, Ron. Your second split decision. Which wide receiver is more likely to have more receptions with his new team? Devontae Adams with the Rams or George Pickens with the Cowboys? Devontae Adams.
Wow.
Devontae Adams or George Pickens? Who is more likely to have more receptions with their new team? James, thanks for joining.
Oh, that's a good one. I would say.
I'm going to say George Pickens
With the Cowboys.
with the Cowboys. Yeah,
CeeDee Lamb takes a lot of the receptions away
I know
from
he
him.
does.
Cup.
Cup's favorite.
Oh,
He's in
that's right.
Seattle.
Wait,
Cup's in
wait.
Seattle. They got Puka Nakua.
Oh,
Puka Nakua.
yeah,
I'm going to say Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. All right. George Pickens cleans up this year. James, Cowboy fan. That's why, though. You can't say that, James, because you're a Cowboys fan. I think you're a little biased on that one. All right.
yeah, definitely Adams. I think
Cup isn't there anymore.
we're going to have to throw to somebody.
Your second split decision, Ron.
All right, my second split decision. Very similar to last week.
Who will more likely
They
win
win the Conn Smythe Trophy.
That's the best player in
Yeah,
the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Yep.
Playoff
MVP.
Frederick Anderson from the
Goldfinger.
Carolina
Panthers. Carolina Hurricanes.
Hurricanes. Sergei Bobrovsky from
Florida.
Florida.
Jake
Ottinger for Dallas.
You're going all goaltenders here.
Stuart Skinner for Edmonton.
Oof.
Notice how I left off a couple of teams
Yeah.
that I don't think are going to move moving
All
on.
right. So who do I think more likely to go to the finals would be key here?
I made it perfectly clear that Florida
is going to beat Toronto because
Toronto can't handle
Yeah.
any pressure.
Well, that's our next segment. Save it for the next segment, buddy. So I would probably say Bobrovsky, just based on the fact I think Florida Panthers get back to the Stanley Cup final. So again, I think most of his work's going to be done in the pipes that gets him there. So I can see that. I can see that being his
Yeah,
I see it.
because I know Anderson always used to have a hiccup in the playoffs.
And I think Florida would beat them.
I think so too.
They're going to bully.
Yeah. So and I think he may see a rematch for last year, and I think again
I believe so too.
Edmonton's strengths really work to the Panthers' benefit because the Panthers basically are going to bully them and slow them down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk some NHL. Toronto Maple Leafs, Game 6. Do they stand a chance without their goalie Anthony Stolarz? He is out. Looks like for Game 6.
Okay, so let me make this perfectly clear.
Perfectly clear.
It doesn't matter
If you have three goaltenders in it
for Toronto. They are not winning
the
this
series.
They've already lost the series.
I think I agree with you.
They had a 2-0 lead. Florida goes home, and they took complete control. They go back to Toronto, and you would think that this team would get up for a game. 15 shots in the game, and you get shut out.
Yeah.
Goaltender didn't matter in that game.
That's what I would say. Listen, I don't think Austin Matthews 0 goals in 5 games
Awful.
right?
Awful.
So again, you don't have your top goal scorer. So again, whoever's in the pipes really don't matter because one goal could basically win that game. Joseph,
They've lost because of all the history in the past decade.
which I will get back into that too, Ron. But Joseph Wall, I believe that's how you pronounce it. He started, gave up 5 goals on 25 shots. That's not very good. So if he's in the pipes, that's a concern. And then you said history. Panthers 3-2 lead in any series, 5-1 all time. Toronto 6-18.
Yeah.
6-18. So
I don't know.
yeah. So it's
And there is
no wall insert there, Celtics fan. Let's go. Sports Unfolded. Best sports podcast on the planet. Check us out. Check us out. Like and share. Guys, get it.
You guys can grab one.
You guys want it? You can like our Facebook page right there. You take a picture right there. You can like the page. Perfect. We're on live every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cover all of it. All the major sports. Love the shirt, man. Go Walton.
Got it.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great night. All right, take care. We say hopefully tonight. You guys are welcome. Yeah, I think you're 100% right. Toronto's done.
Look at the combination too. Florida now has
he just knows how to play.
They call him the Rat for a reason.
Oh my God!
Right?
He's a great hockey player.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it was a great addition by Florida. I think it put them over the top. It makes them clearly the favorites for the Stanley Cup final.
I'll take that.
From that, it's probably like a second one, maybe.
100%.
I'm not even sure if he's on the second one.
He might even be on the third one because that team is going
Yeah, they're very talented. Yeah, so I think they're right. Toronto done. Stay tuned for our predictions because that'll be on there as well. But Ron, it is time for pick and roll.
Time for pick
Our pick and roll segment tonight.
Look at those graphics.
Sweet. Episode 20. Every rose has its thorn. Poison. That's right. Poison. So all these NFL players had two 20 yards touchdown season in their career. LaDainian Tomlinson, Sean Alexander, Priest Holmes, Marshall Falk, and Emmett Smith. We are going to rank them 5-1. I am first in this round, so I'll give you the right list, and then you can come back and get ready to go on list.
Yeah, okay.
At number 5, Priest Holmes, 8,173 yards, 4.6 yards per attempt, 86 touchdowns, 339 receptions, almost 3,000 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns, 3-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, an 0-2 Offensive Player of the Year, and a one-time champion. But I went at number 4. Sean Alexander had 1,300 more yards. This isn't even a competition. He's going to go number 1, James. 4.3 yards per attempt, 100 touchdowns, 215 receptions, 12 touchdowns receiving, 3-time Pro Bowl, 1-time All-Pro. He won an MVP, an Offensive Player, and an Offensive Player of the Year. Sean Alexander at 4. This is where it got really tough because a lot of these guys have great numbers. LaDainian Tomlinson, though, I went with great. 13,684 yards. Even though he had more than the number 2 guy, I like the number 2 guy's numbers more than I like the receptions. 145 touchdowns, 624 receptions, 17 touchdowns, 5-time Pro Bowl, 1-time All-Pro, won an MVP, won an Offensive Player of the Year, and won an SN Player of the Year. But at 2, I went Marshall Falk, 12,279 yards, 100 touchdowns, 36 receiving touchdowns, Ron. That's what put him over me on the LaDainian Tomlinson, and 140 more receptions, 767 receptions, 7-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, 3-time EP Offensive Player, 2-time UFW MVP, 1-time AP MVP, won a Rookie of the Year and a team champion. But at number one, James is right. That guy right there, Emmitt Smith, 18 catches, 355 yards, 164 touchdowns, 515 receptions for another 11 touchdowns, 8-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, 4-time MVP, 3-time Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time champion. This is what put him on number one for me. When you're a Super Bowl MVP at a running back position, I mean, you did work. Number one in my book, Emmitt Smith.
You were close.
I was close.
You were close.
All right. What did I get wrong?
I have at number 5 Sean Alexander. Now they to me, they were really close in numbers. But what made me close ahead of him is giving that in the Super Bowl. And so I put preseason stuff back and also had more pro. So that was another reason why I put him ahead of Sean Alexander. But I will say these are great players.
Yes, every one of them.
Every one of them. Now, there was another close battle, and that was between 2 and 3. It was really close, and I did go with Damian Tomlinson at number 3.
Okay.
And, I mean, when you look at the numbers, they're fantastic. And I just thought Martin Shaw was more dangerous.
Yeah, agreed. The receptions. 760. That's wide receiver numbers.
Yeah, and I mean, 6 times 8 of 7 receptions.
Yeah. 2,000 more yards than LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, so I do like that. And when you think about the teams they played for, it is understandable how Washington Football would have less rushing yards because of that team structure.
Back with the Rams.
Bruce. I mean,
it was the greatest show on turf, right? It was the greatest show on turf.
Marshall also had the Super Bowl, so he went ahead because of that.
Yeah, agreed. I can see that.
But number one, there was no. We're not looking at that. I'm writing the numbers down, and it's just absurd. And no matter how you look at the numbers, it didn't matter. It was a far distance from one to two.
Yeah.
And a record rushing attempts, 4,400 plus. Record yards, 18,000 plus. Now, he also had 164 rushing touchdowns, which is also the record.
Yes.
So he had 11 touchdowns.
Yeah. And 515,
and you don't even think of that.
515 yards receiving or 515 receptions. For Emmitt Smith, I was blown away by that.
Yeah, he was third on the list. I mean, the number is just no matter how you looked at it. 8 Pro Bowls. Marshall Faulk with 7. 4 Pro. One more than 3 other guys, right? He had an MVP, 3 times Super Bowl. That's more than the other one put together.
Agreed.
And of course, like you had mentioned, that Super Bowl MVP, when you get that, you show up.
At a running back position, it's like unheard of.
You could win a Super Bowl and do it today. No. He did everything that was needed to do to win the game. He stepped up at all the right times.
Yeah, no, Emmitt Smith, great player, phenomenal player. All right, Ron, before we get into our prediction segment, let's just go and let the fans out there know about our Hall of Fame voting that is still going on. Those polls are still open. Sports Unfolded sports poll page on Facebook. There is our inductees on the right. On the left-hand side, those are the athletes that did not get in on their first attempt. We are currently voting for the NHL with Jaromir Jagr, Theo Fleury, Timo Kalani, Mark Recchi, and Pavel Bure. Again, you cast a vote and decide who gets in. These are elected by the fans. So get to the Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page and cast your vote for these NHL greats, as well as these Major League Baseball greats. Jack Morris, Roger Clemens, Fernando Valenzuela, Nolan Ryan, and Earl Hershiser. They are currently up, I believe it is Nolan Ryan leading for Major League Baseball and Jaromir Jagr leading for the NHL. Those polls are still open for another 2 weeks. So cast your votes. Give us an opportunity to get one of these guys in. Check out the Sports Unfolded webpage, and you can see that all of those great athletes and all their accolades as well that have been elected. A few. Yeah, we've gotten some. Roger's gotten one, I think, too. I know how much you love Roger. I know how much you love him. Pete Rose is in our Hall of Fame. Pete Rose is in the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. That's the way it should be. Major League Baseball, too late. You're too late. All right, Ron, let's look at these predictions. You cleaned up last week going 7-2, getting the NASCAR.
You guys.
That's a NASCAR winner. 3-5 for me, 2-5 for Danny, 3-4 for Becky.
That's my second correct NASCAR.
Sorry. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you want and you want to guess on the games, just let us know in the chat, and we'll actually put you in next week and see if you can beat one of us. It looks like pretty easy this week. All right, so Ron, our first game is going to start probably in another 20 minutes. Got the Boston Celtics at the New York Knicks, Game 6. Knicks leading 3-2. I'm going to be a homer here. I'm picking Boston. I love the momentum in Game 5. I think they got some energy with Tatum being out, and they really want to prove something. I went Boston here in Game 6.
I wish I could say that. I think when it comes to the energy, I don't think they're going to be able to bring back the same thing. And look, a lot of things just felt like the way today. They were at home. You had Derek White lighting it up like it was Christmas time. You know, you had Cornet, which
Danny went Boston.
all of a sudden turned into Shaquille O'Neal.
7 blocks in the game.
You know, I don't think they can duplicate it. Now, I'm going to pick the Knicks, and I'm hoping I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong.
I really do.
But I think you might be right.
I still think
I felt if I picked the Knicks, they win. So I said I would.
I still think that the team is still better than the Knicks team.
The Yankees game on there again. All right.
That's heartbreaking, though.
Yeah. NBA, Ron, also 5-18. You got the Denver Nuggets at the Oklahoma City Thunder. James picked Boston as well.
Yeah.
I kind of want Denver to win, but I kind of don't. But I'm going to go OKC because I just think that they're going to be home, and that's meant a lot in this series.
I want to agree with you that OKC at home, Denver's experience, and I saw what they did in Game 6, and OKC just couldn't get their offense going. I think the pressure's on them as a young team, and we talked about experience. I'm going Denver here to move on to the Western Conference Finals.
Like I would like that those two games to be split. Me getting Denver.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I agree. All right, 5-16, Ron. You got NHL. We've got the Toronto Maple Leafs at the Florida Panthers. I think we both agree.
I don't care where they could play at the Arctic, right in the North Pole, and Florida's winning this game. It doesn't even matter anymore.
Well, James or Danny got a pick for the Denver OKC team. You know, our audio's a little jacked here. We're doing the best we can, though. But I agree with you. I think Florida just steamrolls this. I think Toronto's a mess. OKC for Danny.
Yeah, they mentally lose this game already.
And then you got to look at OKC for James. You got to look at what Florida's going to be able to do. We've talked about that volleyball. I just see that. Toronto,
Now, do I like
James
Thorn? No. But I don't like Toronto either. So, I mean,
Danny's going Toronto.
to me, Austin Matthews, and I sent a picture to you guys
Yeah.
in the chat,
Yeah, he did.
how he looked, when he was young, and now, and then in 2035 or whatever it is, he's Ron Jeremy.
I just, to have no goals in 5 games, absolutely unacceptable for your star player. That's going to cause the biggest issues. All right, let's talk some Major League Baseball on 5/19. Got the Arizona Diamondbacks at the Los Angeles Dodgers, 3-game series. What do you have?
Yeah, I'm going to stay with the home team today. I'm going with the Dodgers. To me, Arizona is just playing 500 baseball, and that's not going to get done against the Dodgers. Even if they had injuries, I would still think the Dodgers.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Arizona's a good team. They're not a great team. Dodgers know how important this game is going to be, obviously in the standings, so I could see them very easily trying to make sure that they win at least 2 out of 3, try to sweep there to give themselves a little more room in that division. James going Dodgers. Danny's going Dodgers as well.
Oh, he's got to go Dodgers.
Yeah, he has to.
He's an LA guy.
He is an LA guy. WNBA is back, Ron. 5/17. You got the Las Vegas Aces at the New York Liberty. Listen, defending champions coming in. At home, Aces, a lot of change on the roster. I'm going New York here. I think that's an easy one for me.
Yeah, I went New York as well. Change is nice at times, but you're facing a juggernaut, and you don't know what you have yet. It might take them a few games just to figure out what they got. So, Liberty, that's not something to experiment and try to figure it out.
It's going to be the one championship New York gets because they're not getting by Boston. And I have to say it, Ron. I have to say it. Who you gentlemen have out there? Aces, Liberty. All right, James is going Liberty.
If there's any Liberty, it would be the Celtics tonight.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Give me death. That's what I'm going with. I know that means something.
It's got to mean something.
All right. MLS action. You got the Football Club of Cincinnati at the Columbus Crew. Again, both of these teams doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But Columbus to me is a better team at home. I'm going Columbus.
Yeah, I did not. I went with FC Cincinnati. I think they might be a little bit better than Columbus Crew, even though the Crew gave me a win last week.
They did.
But now they're going to give me a win in the opposite direction.
I told you. I usually pick Major League Soccer because they have a team name. I don't like that. I don't like the football club thing. Get a name. Get a name. James went Cincy. I think Danny, you lost Danny. Ron, UFL. This
Did
week.
I not tell you?
Tomorrow.
They 0-2, and I said, don't worry about my Italian Stallions.
The Birmingham Stallions at the St. Louis Battlehawks for the
I'm taking my Italian Stallions. I will ride with them anywhere.
Stallions. I went Birmingham as well with the Stallions. They're on a 5-game winning streak.
Yeah.
They seem to figure it out. Last time these two teams played last year, I think they blown out St. Louis. So UFL action as well here on Sports Unfolded. That's our predictions. If you could beat us, possibly win a
There's
prize.
no race this weekend?
No, they have that NASCAR All-Star weekend. So it's like all different races. What's up, Larry Bird? Bird fan? What's up, my man? How you guys doing? So, yeah, it's like different rate, like 100 laps, 75 laps. They're doing all kinds of different things. It's not a real race.
Yeah, no, so, yeah.
James is going to Battle Hawks.
With the All-Star games.
He's got that New England accent going. Battle Hawks.
Hawks.
Battle Hawks.
Is it a Hawk tour?
Yeah, I got her famous. All right. Well, On that note, Ron, before we get into our final thoughts, let's once again thank those helping us grow. We want to thank 99.1 WPJY in Dallas, Georgia, on every Saturday at 10 a.m. Thank you for your support. Or 1 p.m., I'm sorry. And 990 WBOB in Providence, Rhode Island, on every Saturday at 10 a.m., as well as SEC TV, Public Access Channel 12 in Southeast Connecticut, on every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for the support. We also want to thank K&M Sports at Foxwoods Casino in Ledger, Connecticut. Thank you tonight for allowing us to have our show here. It's been fun. A lot of great memorabilia there. Check it out. Great prices. Great thing. We showed you a Pete Rose jersey tonight. Pick that up as well, right? But Ron, it is final thoughts time. Final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It could be about anything going on the road today. I am first outside of thoughts with. We've seen a lot of greats in our time, but we may have seen the last greatest goal scorer go down. I'm not sure, but there's question if Alex Ovechkin will return next season, even under contract. All-time goal scorer at 897. You think about that record, how he did it towards the end. Amazing career. We hope he comes back, but if he doesn't, he gave us some excitement this season. Unfortunately, not so good in the postseason. So, Ovechkin, if this is it for you, congratulations on a remarkable career and beating a record that most people didn't think would ever be broken. Hopefully he comes back, but if not, you know what? He did something that most didn't think he could do. So, congratulations to Alex Ovechkin. Let's see if we see you next season.
Yeah, and he's a class act too. Like what he did for Fleury in Minnesota.
You know,
I mean,
that was his last hurrah. And he went in there and made all the players come back out and face it because he'll be able to play against them next year. And to me, I think it would be a shame if you did go like this.
Yeah, agreed.
Without telling anybody that
you want somebody to be celebrated every day.
But and if you think about that goal thing, you know, like he got celebrated through, so that might be enough.
Still score a goal.
Agreed. Yeah, 30.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, and he was out for a while.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
So, yeah.
All right, that's my final thought.
All right, Eric, my final thought. It's funny show. Pretty great show all season long, despite the Bruins sucking. But I can live with that. The only thing that I can't live with is the only thing I can't live with is that it's probably going to be Carolina or Florida, or even if Toronto somehow miraculously gets there. I don't like any of those teams. Not liking it. And what am I left with? I am left with Dallas or Edmonton. Now, Edmonton, all right, Trevor is there. But I don't like those teams that, you know, find it easy to score goals and stuff like that. I mean, I'm left with having to root for Dallas. That's all I do. I'm not liking it. Not liking it at all. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to have a horse in this, you know?
Yeah, it's always tough. I think you'll see the same thing in the NBA. You know, with the finals, you'll end up just. How you guys doing? You want to join? Sports Unfolded. We are a sports podcast. We broadcast live every Friday night. Yeah. Check us out. If you guys want to follow the page, you can scan the QR code. You follow Sports Unfolded. Go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter every Friday night.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and the fans interact with us.
They can chat with all of our topics. We cover all of the top topics. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, listen, I think you're right. I think you're going to see the same thing in the NBA. Listen, New York gets there.
Baseball. That's not going
I understand without a doubt.
The Mets.
The Mets are playing right now. The Yankees, it's still nothing. So I'll take that. Got a nice Yankee jersey right there behind me. So I'm excited about that. All right. Well, I want to first off thank once again for hosting us tonight. It's been fun. We were again live in Foxwoods Casino, Legend, Connecticut. These Hangar Outlets, again, a great establishment. Check them out. You'll enjoy all of the great sports memorabilia that's out there. The fact that we got to be live together, it's been a while, so I'm excited about that as well.
I know, it's been since COVID.
Yeah, so it's been quite some time. So Sports Unfolded coming to you in all different facets. Again, we are on the radio, possibly in the Denver market. We're looking at that market now as another opportunity. Thank you for the support. Thank you.
Take care.
So again, get out there, support Sports Unfolded, share, follow us, like all of our social media outlets, check out K&M websites as well, follow them. We are the best sports podcast.
That's not even close. I don't even think it's close.
You can interact, so you get to talk to us every single Friday at CC Speaking on Eastern Standard Time. So check us out. We've had a blast tonight. Thank you once again to K&M Sports, Foxwoods Casinos, and Hangar Outlets. We are signing off, and all we ever ask for every single show is that we get peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody.